All right, let's solve this problem in Quiz 4 of Khan Academy on quadratics. The number of mosquitoes in Anchorage, Alaska is a function of rainfall. Here's the number of mosquitoes, and this guy is a function of rainfall, and x is the amount of rainfall in inches, or in centimeters, sorry. So if we can say how much rain has fallen, then we can figure out how many mosquitoes there will be. And because we have an x squared, it means it's going to be a quadratic equation and the graph will be a parabola. Now, the question is how many centimeters of rain will produce the maximum number of mosquitoes? And one way to solve this is to be able to visualize it. So let's take a look and see what happens when we graph this guy. I'm going to go ahead and throw this guy into Desmos. And when I do, you get this equation. Let's go ahead and turn the graph on. And when I do, you can see that it's a parabola and it starts going up really quick. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole parabola. And what I want you guys to notice is that there is a maximum point. See, what happens is as x starts getting larger, y starts getting larger, okay? And then at some point, as x gets larger and larger, y starts actually getting smaller, okay? And that is kind of true. It's first of all, it's a parabola, right? Gets larger and then gets smaller. But second of all, it kind of makes sense. If you have a little bit of rain, then you get more mosquitoes. But if you have too much rain, then the mosquitoes all drowned. So in this case, a parabola is perfect for this. Now, the question is, how do we find the maximum amount of mosquitoes? And by the way, this number of mosquitoes, m of x, it's also known as y. It has a maximum value. It goes up to a certain point, and that it gets no higher because as we get more inches of rain, we get fewer mosquitoes. So what we're looking for is the maximum value of y. And you'll notice that it's located right here at a point we call the vertex, okay? And so what we need to do is find that vertex. So let's go back and do the math now that we can visualize the problem. And here's how it works. What we're going to do is we're going to take well, first of all, let's find the axis of symmetry. And we can find the axis of symmetry like this. The AOS is equal to negative b over 2a. And that's a formula that you guys will put on your index card to study when you study for the when you bring it to the test. And in this case, our equation looks like this. It's y equals a x squared plus bx plus c. And in this case, we have an a in front of the x squared, and we have a b in front of the x, but we have no c. But all we need is a and b. So we're going to go ahead and plug in the numbers. Our b is 14, so it's negative 14 all over all over 2a, so over 2 times whatever a is. And in this case, we can see that the number in front of the x squared is negative 1. So I'll put that there. And then if we do the math, what we get is negative 14 divided by negative 2. And that is positive 7. And that is the x value. That is the AOS. That is the x value for the AOS. And if we had to draw the AOS on our graph, it would look like a, let's see, since we found it was 7, I'll do x equals 7. I'd like to point out that it is a vertical line that goes directly through the vertex. Now, if we take that x value and we plug it in here and here, whatever we get for y will be our maximum number of mosquitoes. And again, remember that the y value is measured in millions of mosquitoes, so it's more than just a few mosquitoes. Okay, let's do the math. So back to this, we're gonna take the x and plug it in here. So I'm gonna do it with a different color so that it kind of stands out. So we'll say y, or the number of mosquitoes, is going to be equal to negative something squared, negative x squared, plus 14 times something, in this case x, and we know that our x is 7, and I'm going to go back to blue because I'd like it to be obvious. Where did that 7 come from? Came from right here. All right, now let's do the math. I'm going to go ahead and change colors again just for fun, and we'll do y equals. This 7 squared gets me 49, then the negative sign has to be applied after because the squared doesn't apply to the negative. So that gets us negative 49 plus 7 times 14. Let's see here, have no idea. 70 and 28 is 98. And apparently if you add 98 and negative 49, you get positive 49. And so that should be our answer. That will be it'll be 49 million mosquitoes if this is our equation. All right, cool. That was it.